Old Guy Radio Players present... It's the George and Pudgy Show! Starring Milt Stiltskin as George Coinbridge. Co-starring Bill Dokie as Pudgy Coinbridge. Also starring Schmitzy Poldonka as Maggie Coinbridge. And Margaret Meadowmuffin as Mildred Coinbridge. Along with Falk Marley, Peter Peters, and special guest star Percy Tinkles. Welcome, one and all, to our live broadcast of A Hunting We Will Go.
This is the Gum Chewy Radio Network. Tonight's episode of the George and Pudgy Show, A Hunting We Will Go, is brought to you by Dirk Gherkin's brined and pickled fine smoking cigars. Did you know that Dirk Gherkin grows and picks his own tobacco and that he himself rolls his cigars between his thighs before pickling them in the finest Miller Moth vinegars and smoked salts for that smooth, mellow, satisfying flavor you'll only find in a genuine Dirk Gherkin cigar? And by the makers of Mama Floppa's sweet American-style fire-roasted fish balls. Mama Floppa's uses only the finest fish balls money can buy. These fish balls are ripped off at the peak of flavor, then gently washed and fire-roasted over an open pit, and they are then canned and cooked in Mama Floppa's special sweet and salty ball water. Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.
It had been a strange day at the cafe without Maggie being there. She'd come up with some lame excuse about why she needed to take a couple of days off. I had no choice but to let her go, and all I knew was it had been a long day, and I was just ready to be home and listen to the ball game. Maggie, I'm home!
George, oh good you're home. I was getting worried. Don't take off your coat. We're driving to Radio City.
Radio City? You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding you. So come on already. We have to pick up Pudgy and Mildred on the way. Hurry up. We can't be late.
Can't be late? Maggie, what's going on?
Oh, George, you'll find out when we get there.
Well, I'll find out when we get there. I'll find out when we get there. What do you mean we'll find out when we get there?
I mean exactly that. You and everyone else will find out when we get there.
It's a 3-hour drive, Mags. It had better be worth it. Finally, we made it. We're outside Radio City Music Hall. What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, Maggie, what gives?
Come on, Mags, give us a break here.
You'll all find out soon enough. Just a little bit longer, trust me. It's worth it, you'll see. I think we need to walk over this way.
Miss Coinbridge?
Yes, sir.
Right this way, ma'am. You two folks.
There's something strange going on here. Why do people seem to know you? Why are we going backstage? Shouldn't we be out front where the audience is sitting? What's going on here?
Just another couple of minutes, George, and everyone will know.
Okay. You all folks just stand here. And when you hear Mr. Murrow call for group number 5, you all go out and tell you where to stand, all right?
Mr. Morrow? Edward K. Morrow is going to call us to the stage? Max, what did you do?
And now, from Furbush, New Jersey, bring out Group 5.
love this, George.
Stand right over here, please. And can I have you all say your name, please? Starting with you, sir.
My name is
George.
my name is George Coinbridge, Your Honor, sir.
Oh, George. And me, I'm Maggie Coinbridge.
And I'm Pudgy Coinbridge.
And I'm Mildred Coinbridge.
Well, it is certainly nice to meet you all. Now, am I to understand, Maggie, that out of your group, you are the only one that is aware of what's going on?
Yes, sir, Mr. Morosa. I wanted this to be a surprise for my husband, George.
Well, by the look on his face, I would say most assuredly he is. Now, I'll explain to George, the groups, the folks at home, and the studio audience what this is all about. Just a few short weeks ago, we went to 100 cities across the country. My guys were sent with instructions to randomly choose people in the store, wherever they happen to be, and have them fill a piece of paper like this one with their name and phone number, along with the names of their spouse and that of one other couple, and place it in a box. Each box contained 100 entries. All 100 of those boxes were brought back here to Radio City, and the contents placed into a large basket drum here behind me, and it was turned by an electric motor for 24 hours. From there, I personally reached in and removed 5 slips of paper. All the folks you see here on the stage tonight are lucky to have been chosen to participate in the first annual Gum Chewy Memorial Nationwide Scavenger Hunt. Each group of 4, consisting of 2 couples, will be given a list of states and city or town they will drive to. They will also have a list of hotels they must stay at. When they check in their hotels, they will receive an envelope with the item they have to scavenge for in that particular area, as well as their next destination. All 5 groups will have their own different items to scavenge, along with their own states and destinations. All 5 groups will be given a cash allotment to cover the cost of gas and food. The reservations and the cost for the hotels also are included. None of the 5 groups will have any idea how the other groups are doing, and will not know until they end up at the final location. You will have 15 days to complete the scavenger hunt by collecting all 5 items and bringing them to a place that won't be revealed to you until you have reached the 5th location. The first group to arrive at the last location with all 5 items will win. The grand prize will be announced at that time. The 5 groups will have 3 days to prepare for the trip and be back here at 12 noon in 3 days, which will be Sunday, May 2nd, 1947. That concludes tonight's show. Take it away, Jules.
Whether you're hard at work enjoying a day at the golf course or looking to celebrate, why not do it with a Dirk Gherkin's fine smoking cigar? Dirk Gherkin's Pickles and Brines is cigars for the best and most relaxing, flavorful smoking experience money can buy. That's Dirk Gherkin Cigars.
Hi, I'm Mike Scrotum, national spokesman for the Gum Chewy Foundation. Gum Chewy was a man of high means and low standards. Gum Chewy's motto of fleece the mooks before they fleece you changed everything. Ever since Gum first uttered those words, the American industry has used this motto to ruin people's hopes and dreams. And in honor of Gum and his legacy, I am proud to officiate the first annual Gum Chewy National Memorial Scavenger Hunt.
Oh, I can't believe it. We're really here. Same Here, I spent the time cleaning out the icebox and getting things ready for the trip.
Hey, George, I'll bet you $5 the wives are at each other's throats before the day's over.
It's not even noon, and you're already trying to stir up trouble, Pudgy. But since you mentioned it, I'll take that bet. I think the wives are going to get along just fine. In fact, I'll bet you $5 that you and Mildred are fighting within 48 hours.
You're on, wise guy.
Here we are outside of Radio City. The street has been blocked off except for the 5 cars carrying the 20 contestants. They have all been lined up and given an envelope with the names of the towns and cities they will be going to. One last time, let's go through the names of all the contestants. I'll start with the car in front of me, working my way across. Group 1 from Millwater, Oklahoma, Mr. and Mrs. Stinky and Betty Jowls, and their companions, Mr. and Mrs. Snoots and Cindy Porkbobber. Group 2 is from Smog City, Idaho, Mr. and Mrs. Carl and Pooter Crankblower, and their companions, Mr. and Mrs. Booger and Queef Maloney. In group number 3 from Skullbone, Mississippi, Mr. and Mrs. Willie and Tinkles Coxswacker, and their companions, Mr. and Mrs. Hubert and Agnes Putinfacer. Second from the end is group number 4. From Putrid, Arizona, Mr. and Mrs. Fart and Wheatina Stainmaker, and their companions, Mr. and Mrs. Markle and Edith Dweebles. And we come to group 5 from Furbush, New Jersey, Mr. and Mrs. George and Maggie Coinbridge, and their companions, Mr. and Mrs. Pudgy and Mildred Coinbridge. We are 2 minutes away from the official start of this first annual nationwide scavenger hunt. It takes a lot of moxie to go on an adventure like this. Only time will tell which one of these groups will come in first. The sidewalks are packed with spectators giving the contestants well wishes on their great adventure. Good luck and good hunting to you all. The final seconds are ticking down. Okay, everyone, get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And they are off. Now it's a matter of waiting for the hunt to come to a close. Until next time, for the Gum Chewy Radio Network, this is Edward Murrow signing off.
Okay, Mags, get the envelope open.
It says here we're going to Plymouth, Wisconsin.
Don't worry, Mildred. We'll stop plenty of times. We're going to need gas and food along the way. Now, let's not get carried away, Mildred. It's because I know you, Mildred, dear, is why I said not to get carried away.
Don't worry, Pudgy. I'll make sure she doesn't get anything larger than a bowling ball.
Ha, 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 ha. Very funny.
You know, Pudgy, it is kind of funny. You remember when you and me got our new bowling balls?
You're absolutely right, George. When we got the owner of Schlepp's Bowling Alley to give us each a new bowling ball.
And bag.
And a bag for catching his old lady fooling around with the garbage man and then telling him about it.
They could hear old Peter Schleps yelling all the way to Yonkers.
All that aside, Mildred, please take it easy, huh?
I know. Postcards.
Yeah, sure, postcards.
Yeah, sure. Postcards. They always sell them in gas stations, restaurants, even hotels have them. They are only 3 cents. Is that cheap enough for you, Pudgy?
Yeah. I guess postcards won't cause no trouble. Are you ready to be home? Are you ready to be free of the day's hassles? Are you ready for the most enjoyable, relaxing, flavorful time of the day? Then you're ready for a Dirk Gherkin's fine smoking cigar. Remember, Dirk Gherkin's fry rolls, grinds, and pickles his cigar for the best smoking experience money can buy. That's Dirk Gherkin's Brine Cigar.
Wake up, everyone! We're just pulling into Plymouth, Wisconsin.
What? We're here?
Oh, you didn't waste any time getting here, Georgie boy.
What time is it?
It's 3 a.m. and boy, am I ever hungry. I wonder if they've got an all-night diner around here.
Shouldn't we find the hotel first, George?
Maggie's right, George. Let's check in.
It says here 53 Stafford is the name of the hotel.
I'm looking for it. Oh, yeah, now I see it. Good eyes there, Mildred.
Hey, morning, folks. Welcome. Welcome to 53 Stafford. You got a reservation?
Yeah, we went on the radio and we were part of this.
Yeah. You guys are from that gum chewy thing from the radio. Okay, hold on here. Mrs. Maggie and George Coinbridge.
Mrs. George Coinbridge.
You know something, pal? I think you got too many teeth.
Oh, hey.
Don't you hit him, George. He didn't mean nothing.
Hey, pal, I was just reading what they put on the reservation card here, Mr. Honest. Now, I'm supposed to hand you this envelope. Hey, pal, I really wasn't trying to cause any trouble.
There, you see, George? Now, aren't you glad you didn't clobber him?
Yeah, you're right, Mags. As always. I'm sorry, pal. I guess I'm a little grouchy from not eating dinner. Is there like an all-night diner or something around here?
Yes, sir. There's old Tink Plinkle's Cafe and Truck Stop, just off the highway by Garbus Hardware. Get back on the main street there, turn left, go about a mile down the road. You can't miss it.
Hey, toss me the keys, Georgie boy. I'll drive.
What? A whole mile? Are you sure you're not going to fall asleep at the wheel?
Cut it out, George. Give the keys to Pudgy. And you're sitting in the back seat with me.
Come on, Mildred, baby. Hop in the front and you can help shift the gears.
Jeepers, can I? Are you sure I'm tall enough to sit up front?
Good one, Mildred.
Okay. That's what I get for trying to sound nice. Fine. Boy, I can see what kind of trip this is going to be like.
Relax, Pudgy. You ain't gonna flip your wig. I'm just rattling a cage.
You may as well go back to the hotel, Pudgy.
What? Why do I have to turn around?
'Cause, George, you sound asleep.
Asleep? How could he be asleep? We just pulled out into the parking lot.
Oh, he's asleep all right. Ever since we was kids, whenever Georgie boy would get tired, he'd fall asleep at the snap of a finger. Once he fell asleep on the Furbush bus and ended up in Yonkers, and he didn't budge until the bus driver woke him up at the station. So when George calls home, our old man made Georgie boy there panhandle the 20 cents to get the next bus back.
That's my George. Okay, well, we will meet here at the car, 9 a.m. sharp. Then we'll all go out for breakfast and open the envelope.
Don't know what to have for dinner tonight? Well, Mama Floppa's sweet American style fire roasted fish balls is just what the doctor ordered. Simply open a can, warm it in a pan, pour over pasta, and a snap, you have a delicious and nutritious meal the whole family can enjoy. Remember, Mama's only uses the best fish balls to feed her family and yours. That's Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.
Well, it's 9 a.m. Where's Pudgy and Mildred?
I'm sure they'll be right along, George. It was a long day for us all, you know. Give them a break.
Good morning, Georgie boy. Are you ready to get this show on the road?
Hiya, Maggie. Morning, George.
Hey, don't forget, I'm driving today.
Then let's go. I could eat a horse.
What's the name of that place that desk clerk mentioned?
I think it was Tink Plinkle's Cafe and Truck Stop. Turn left on Main Street and drive about a mile down the road, just off the highway by Garber's Hardware. You can't miss it.
That's almost exactly what the clerk said. Do you remember everything like that, Mildred?
Nah, it comes and goes. Sometimes I remember exactly what happened the day before. Like what kind of car was parked in front of Mr. Wren's soap store or something someone said.
It comes and goes, all right. It don't pay to listen to Mildred because sometimes she gets it wrong. She cost me $50 at the track last week by giving me the name of a lame nag that came in dead last.
How many times are you going to bring that up, Pudgy? I told you I only heard the last part of what those two goons were saying. You were the one that bet the money, Pudgy, not me.
Well, looks like you owe me $5 there, Pudgy.
Now, why does Pudgy owe you $5, George?
I made a bet.
It was just a silly bet that me and George made, Maggie. We don't need to worry about it right now, right, George? Look, we're here at Tink Plinkle's. Let's go in and get some food.
Oh, yeah, right. Let's go eat.
Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to Tink Plinkles. I'm Fink Plinkles, Tink's brother. We're real happy to see y'all come in. Our special this morning is a short stack of my brother's fluffy buttermilk griddle cakes, served with 3 eggs, 4 slices of bacon, and potatoes on toast. Comes with coffee, juice, and milk.
I'll have the special.
Me too.
And you ladies?
I'll just have a cup of coffee and a sweet roll.
Same here.
All right, great. I'll be back with your coffee. Hey, 2 coffins, all the nails, 2 pinwheels, and make them float, will ya?
Oh, I like your style, kid. Anyways, we should open the envelope now, George.
You're right, Mags. Here we are. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be going on this adventure.
Yeah, Maggie, you open the first one.
Go for it, Maggie.
All right, here it goes.
Well, what does it say?
Come on, Mags, quit stalling.
It says Babcock tester.
What's a Babcock test?
You don't think they were going to make it easy, do you, Mildred? We just need to put our heads together and think.
A Babcock test sounds like something medical.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Hot coffee coming in, folks. I'll be back in just a minute.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe we should start at the local hospital, or maybe doctor's offices?
That's a good idea, Mildred.
Hey, how about if George and I drop you two gals off at the hospital, and while you two are sniffing around there, George and I will check out the local doctor's offices.
Here's your food, folks. Sweet rolls for the ladies and special for the gents. Are you folks planning on being in town long?
Not any longer than we got to there, buddy.
George, I'm sorry, Stink. My husband has the manners of a yak.
The name's Fink, ma'am. I was just gonna say, since you folks are in town, you should check out the Satori cheese plant. They make some of the best cheese in all the USA.
Thanks for the tip, Fink. Your husband just called and he said he's bringing his boss and wife home for dinner. What are you going to do? You don't have time to run to the market. Well, why not make them feel like a king and queen when you serve them Mama Floppa's sweet American style fire roasted fish balls? Mama Floppa's fish balls only take 5 minutes to warm on the stove, and as the aroma fills the air, arrange the fish balls on a platter, insert toothpicks, and serve. What a treat! Your husband will be sure to get high praises at the office and maybe that raise he's been wanting. Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.
Boy, I sure hope the gals had better luck than we did.
Oh, kid, we went to every kind of doctor's office we could find.
From family doctors to horse doctors and everything in between, and all we got was strange looks.
And we better keep our fingers crossed that the wives did better.
Speaking of the wives, they're the up there on the right.
Yeah, I'm not blind, you know.
It's about time you two showed up.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right, mister. Where have you two been? We have been standing here for almost 2 hours. We have been laughed at in and then all the way out of the hospital. We have been whistled at by fatheads and geezers. Mildred broke a heel on a shoe, but worst of all was the cop that thought we were streetwalkers. Did you hear me, George? Streetwalkers.
Please tell us you found the Babcock test or whatever it is.
I'm sorry, Mags. We was really hoping that you gals had found it.
Oh, no. You mean to tell me that we spent the last 5 hours going through all that for nothing?
Hey, we're just as disappointed as you two. We was laughed out of every doctor's office in town, and Georgie boy here got himself chased out of the haberdashery by the butcher waving the biggest meat cleaver I ever seen.
You ain't kidding. If Pudgy, if he hadn't been there, I'd end up looking like chopped liver.
Before you two showed up, Maggie and me decided we want to go see the cheese being made. Did you hear me, Pudgy?
Yeah, okay, I'm going. You don't have to ride the broomstick. It hasn't been all peaches and cream for us either, you know.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. You still owe me $5, Pudgy.
Oh, yeah, for what?
Well, just before we left New York, I bet Pudgy $5 that him and Mildred would get into it within 48 hours. And as it turns out, this makes twice, so it should be $10.
George Coinbridge, what kind of man are you? If anyone is looking for a fight around here, it's you.
Now, wait a minute. Just 1 minute. Pudgy, you bet George $5 that we wouldn't have a fight in the first 48 hours, and George bet you we would? Is that about right?
Yes, that's exactly it, Mildred.
So you were kind of betting for us.
Right.
You were betting we wouldn't fight. That is so sweet of you, Pudgy. Now pay George the $5 you owe him, and tonight you're rubbing my feet.
Mildred, you're amazing. You're the only woman I know that can give a man praise and punishment in the same sentence.
Oh, I wouldn't be laughing too loud now, George. You're not off the hook, mister.
How far is this cheese place, Pudgy?
I think I see it up ahead, George.
Satori cheese. Oh, I'm so excited, Maggie.
Oh, me too, Mildred. It's been such a long day. I hope they have some free samples to nibble on.
Hey, hiya, pal. Is this where we go to see the cheese being made?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, come on in, folks. Hey, welcome to the Satori Cheese Company. My name is Curd DeBow, but my friends just call me Nipples. How about that? Hey, so if you folks just follow me, we'll get this show started, okay? We'll start here with the cows.
Oh, George, it stinks worse than when the sewer overflowed the bathtub.
Well, I understand that, ma'am. Most people aren't accustomed to that particular fragrance nature. Now, here we have the best corn-fed Holstein milking cows anywhere. These cows, they get milked, washed, and fed 3 times a day. Now over this way is the milking barn. Now in here we have a milking system that's automatic, which means that all these cows in this here barn can get milked by just 2 guys working the equipment. And all that milk gets pumped into this big, large tank. Over here is the quality control room. So every time a cow gets milked, samples are taken. And we test those samples for fat and solids content with the Babcock test over here. Once the samples meet our requirements,
Oh
it's
my
ready to...
God, that's it! The Babcock test.
That's it!
All right. Way to go, Mildred.
Mildred!
Cookie.
What's going on? Did I say something wrong?
Oh, no, not at all, Nipples. You see, we're on this scavenger hunt, and the Babcock test was the first thing on our list.
Oh, yeah, is that you guys? Yeah, I heard about that gum chewy hunt on the radio just yesterday. Boy, you folks sure do move fast.
Yeah, I suppose we do.
Your wife just had your baby boy, and what a better way to celebrate than handing out Dirk Gherkin's fine smoking cigars to all of your friends. Remember, you aren't just giving away any cigar, you're giving away a Dirk Gherkin. Dirk himself buy, rolls, brines, and pickles his cigar for the best smoking experience money can buy. That's Dirk Gherkin's Brine Cigars. Yeah, mine. Looks like a tobacco salad.
Okay, now that we've had dinner, we're ready to go. What's the next city we have to go to?
Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Shelbyville, Tennessee it is.
I'm glad you're driving this time, Pudgy. I'm gonna put my head back, catch 40 winks, and let you drive all night.
I'm happy to do it, Georgie boy. Happy to do it. Well, it looks like George and Maggie are asleep. Come over here and put your head on my shoulders.
This is nice. You know, this is our first trip since we've been married and went on a honeymoon to Niagara Falls, Canada.
Niagara Falls! That was a great trip, Mildred. The food at the restaurant was great. You looked beautiful, and we watched that George, what's his name, go over the falls in a barrel.
Let me think. He was from Greece, Stathakis. George Stathakis.
That's it, George Stathakis. You're sharp as ever, Mildred.
Oh, I'm getting sleepy, Pudgy. I'm going to shut my eyes for a few minutes.
Sure, Mildred. Catch a few winks. I'll wake you when we get to Shelbyville. Oh, dang nabbit!
Oh, what's that smell? I was sound asleep.
Oh, either Pudgy's having problems with his dinner, or we ran over a skunk.
I'm
Pull
pulling over
over,
now.
Pudgy.
Just don't get sick on me.
I'm gonna be sick.
Well, where are we, Pudgy?
The last sign I saw said Shelbyville 50 miles, and that was about 4 or 5 miles back.
Oh, I can't stand it back here. Oh, it stinks so bad. Try
Oh.
as fast as you can, Pudgy.
Oh, I could roll down the back windows here.
Oh, that just made it stink even more in here. How can that be?
Oh, should I roll them back up?
Oh, leave him down, George. At least some air is moving.
Hurry, Pudgy. I think I might get sick again.
Of all the animals to hit, why did we have to hit a skunk?
Oh, we're gonna have to find some place to get the car cleaned.
That's for sure.
Hey, look, there's the hotel.
The Dixie Hotel. Doesn't that just sound like a fun place to stay?
It sure does.
I wonder if they have a service that can clean the car.
Oh, we'll ask him at the front desk.
Well, yeehaw! Welcome to the Dixie Hotel and Saloon, folks. My name's Foober Mucus. Y'all can call me Fooby. Most folks do.
With a radio contest winners, Fooby.
Well, strap my face inside of a hog and roll me in the mud. That's you folks, is it? I'm mighty glad to meet y'all. You know, me and the other desk clerks had a little bet going on, just on whose shift you'd be coming in on. And it looks like I'm the lucky one this time. Oh, here's the envelope I'm supposed to give you.
Hey, thanks a lot there, Flooby.
That's Fooby, sir.
Yeah, that's what I said, Flooby.
Hey, Flooby. Have you got some room keys for us?
Say, Flooby, does the hotel have a service that can clean our car?
You guys cut it out. Stop busting his chops. He's a nice man. Thank you, Mr. Nuckus, sir.
Oh boy, you folks are a real hoot, you know. I'll make sure it looks like new for you by morning, all right? Here's your keys.
Hungry, but there's nothing in the refrigerator? Looking for a quick midnight snack? You want Mama Floppa's sweet American-style fire-roasted fish balls. Just eat them right out of the can. They're simply delicious whether they are served hot or cold. Remember, Mama Floppa only uses wild, free-range fish balls to ensure their balls are ripped off at the peak of flavor, gently washed and fire-roasted over an open pit. They're then canned and cooked in Mama Floppa's sweet and salty ball water. Mama Floppa's, a name to remember, a taste you won't forget.
Well, here we are in Shelbyville, sitting in Pope's Cafe. We've had our breakfast and our coffee. I think Mildred should open the envelope to see what we have to find this time.
Okay, here it goes. Says we need to find a fruit.
Huh. It sounds like an instrument, like a flute or something.
We can't go by what it sounds like. Remember, we thought a Babcock tester was something medical. How's about if we just split up into teams again, only this time Mags and Mildred can take the car, and you and me's, and we'll all meet back here at 6 o'clock for dinner.
That's a good idea, George.
We better go now, Mildred, before George has time to change his mind. We'll see you two guys back here at 6.
Almost 7 o'clock, and both of our husbands are late.
Maybe we should go back to the hotel and check for them there.
Good idea, Maggie.
They aren't in either of the rooms. The only thing I can think of is to ask the desk clerk. Excuse me, sir, is Fooby here?
No, ma'am. Fooby works the graveyard shift. He won't be here till 11 o'clock tonight. Say, you two wouldn't happen to be Maggie and Mildred, would you?
Yes, we are. Why?
I thought so. Your husbands are in the county jail.
In jail? What for?
Don't know. They didn't say. But they did say you two need to come bail them out.
Hi, we're here to get our husbands out of jail.
Okay, you guys. Your wives are here. You can either see the judge on Monday morning, and he may or may not fine you $10 each. Or you can pay the $10 fine now and be done with it, and you can be on your merry way.
We better pay the fine now, Georgie boy. Today's Wednesday. We can't lose 5 days.
You're right about that, Pudgy. Maggie, pay the man the 20 clams and get us out of here.
Here you go, officer.
Thanks for visiting Shelbyville, folks.
Let's go, George, before I get arrested again. Only this time it will be for assaulting a police officer.
What did he just say?
He said, have a nice evening, officer. Thank you very much, officer.
That's what I thought he said.
Well, Pudgy, yet another arrest for disturbing the peace.
It would be so easy.
All I know is I'm hungry and tired. Let's go back to Pope's Cafe. Okay, you two have some explaining to do.
Well, Pudgy and me were going from place to place, see? Just walking down the main street there, asking folks if they saw any fruits or knew where we could find some. There we were, just standing outside this pet shop, and I guess some old geezer called the cop on us for asking his wife if she knew where a couple of guys could find some fruits. Next thing I knew, we was arrested again for causing a public disturbance.
All right, here you go, folks. Ma'am, I believe you had the steak and fried chicken, and you had the chicken fried steak. And I've got 2 T-bone steaks. Let's see. Here you go. And they've got all the trimmings on there for you fellas. Let me know if I can get you anything else. I'm here all night, folks.
It's a good thing they were an all-night diner. I don't think I've ever seen George eat so much food.
What can I say, Max? I was starving. Pudge and I must have walked 10 miles today. I even wore a hole in my shoe. Look, see? I don't know about y'all, but I'm stumped. Pudgy and I looked all over the city and found nothing. Now you 2 gals come back also with bupkis. We've had all day of being laughed at, pointed at, and Pudgy and me went to jail, and we have nothing to show for it.
Right you are, Georgie boy. We could be here another month before we find out what a fruit is or even where to get one.
Excuse me, sir. I couldn't help it over here. Did you say you're looking for a fruit?
And I suppose you know what that is.
Why, yes, ma'am. In fact, I do. You see, a fruit is this little piece of metal on the end of my pencil that holds my eraser in place.
Just how do you know that?
Well, you see, my 2 brothers work over there at that pencil factory just about 7 miles out of town. I know what they call every bit of a pencil here.
And just like that, it falls into our lap. I wonder if the other teams are having as much trouble finding their items as we are.
Teams? Say, you're not them folks from the Gum Chewy radio show, are you?
That's us, all right.
Well, shoot. You know, I'd be real honored if you folks would take my pencil.
Wow, thanks, mister. And thanks for knowing what a fruit is.
I think we should leave that way to an extra big tip.
I think I'll leave him a sawbuck.
That's real nice of you, George.
Do you remember the feeling you had the first time you lit up a Dirk Durkin cigar? You know that special feeling like when you're catching the big one at the lake or bragging to your friends about the hole-in-one you made at the course last week? Or that special feeling you get when you smoke one too fast and the room starts to spin? That's the feeling you get with a Dirk Durkin's brined and pickled fine cigar. You smoking pickled tobacco?
Yesterday was a real doozy. But with Pudgy and George going to jail and all, I'm glad we're leaving this morning.
Speaking of leaving, where did you say we were going next, Maggie?
We're going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And guess where we're staying? Franciscan Hotel.
Albuquerque, New Mexico? Did you hear that, Pudgy? We're going to Albuquerque. And we get to stay at Franciscan Hotel. Did you know that it was a community project begun in 1920 by the local Kiwanis Club and the Albuquerque Chamber of Commerce? It's supposed to be one of the swankiest hotels in the country.
That's my little encyclopedia.
Just let me know when you want me to drive, Pudgy.
Thanks, Georgie boy. I'm feeling pretty chipper this morning. I'll bet I could just sit here and drive all the way to Albuquerque without stopping.
Oh, yeah? You think so, huh? Well, I think you're going to be aching to get off your keister before we get anywhere near Albuquerque.
George is right, Pudgy. It's about 1,000 miles from Shelbyville to Albuquerque.
I wonder what we're going to have to hunt for in Albuquerque.
If it's anything like the last two hunts, we could be there for days.
I think we're okay, Pudgy. Mr. Morrow said we have 15 days to get everything on the hunt. And to get to the last city, wherever that is, we're only on day 4 and we already have 2 out of the 5 items and we're on our way to number 3.
You know, I just can't believe how much fun this is. Here we are, all 4 of us together, and wouldn't you know, we're all getting along. We all know me and Mildred have had our differences in the past, but this time, it feels different. We're all having fun together, even when we had to get George and Pudgy out of jail. Mildred and me had a few laughs thinking about leaving you guys behind. We're going to places we've never been, looking for the kookiest scavenger hunt items ever. It's all been paid for, well, mostly. But what's not to enjoy when going on a once-in-a-lifetime adventure?
Georgie boy, I'm beginning to see your point. Now that we're in Oklahoma City, maybe we should cash it in. I'm ready to strap on the feed bag and hit the sack.
What? Are you kidding? Any extra hotels we stay at comes out of our pocket. Not only that, but it's only like another 6.5 hours to Albuquerque. I'm gonna fill the tank with gas, and Pudgy, you and Mildred can ride in the back. Mags and me gonna be driving up front.
Maggie, can you come around here to the trunk and help me for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
What are the girls doing in the trunk?
It beats me. Probably looking for makeup or something. Let's go, ladies. We haven't got all night.
Don't have all night, huh? Well, maybe I was doing something. I had to put away the postcards I bought. And I was thinking, since you didn't want to stop for the night, I would run in and get us all some food at the Truck Stop Diner across the street. I suppose you wouldn't want one of these hamburgers, would you?
I want one. You're the best, Mildred.
I would absolutely love a hamburger. You're one smart cookie there, Mildred.
Okay, Mildred. I'm sorry. You got a hamburger for me, too?
No. Of course I do. I'm just jerking a chain, Georgie boy.
Albuquerque.
Oh, it's a beautiful morning.
Look, you can see the hotel from here.
Holy mackerel, that place is decked out for the glitterati.
Yeah, no kidding. Boy, who would have thought we'd have been staying at a swanky hotel like this?
Good morning. Welcome to the Hotel Franciscan. My name is Quiberto. Do you have a reservation?
Well, we're Mr. and Mrs. Coinbridge, times 2.
I see here you are the radio gum chewy hunter people, yes? Very good. I have been instructed that I am to hand you this envelope upon your arrival. Here are your room keys. Room 504 and room 505. We have a dinner show in the Scarlet Slipper room tonight at 9 p.m. If you need something, just ask me, Quiberto.
Mr. Quiberto, sir? Pop? Sorry, I can't make that sound. I have a couple questions for you. Pop, where can we go for some breakfast? And does everyone around here do that pop thing with the mouth?
What pop thing are you talking about? The Church Street Cafe has a very good breakfast. Church Street is the next left off of the boulevard, right in front of the hotel.
So, what's this dinner show you're talking about?
Tonight we have Miss Luce Morals, a most beautiful singer from Djibouti.
Djibouti, huh? Oh, well, we wouldn't want to miss that.
Where exactly is Djibouti?
Djibouti is on the northeastern coast of Africa, from the Red Sea and the Mandeb Strait. Also, Djibouti is bordered by Eritrea and Ethiopia, Somalia, and shares the maritime borders with Yemen.
How do you know all that?
My uncle was the merchant marine.
And that figures.
Here's my little encyclopedia.
All right, guys, let's go to the Church Street Cafe. I'm starving.
Pop, pop.
Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Church Street Cafe. I'll be your waiter. My name's Booger. Here's your menus. The special is on the back. I'll bring your coffee right over.
Oh, God, I sure hope Booger gets his hands clean.
Me too, Mags. Open the envelope.
No, I opened the first one in Plymouth, Wisconsin. Mildred opened the second one in Shelbyville, Tennessee. You should open this one, George.
Thank you, Maggie. You know, I almost feel like I should say something.
Now, don't start yammering, Georgie. We only have 9 days to finish the hunt.
Okay. Let's see here. It says caveat.
Caveat? That sounds like an animal or something.
Caveat? I don't know about that. Sounds more like a car part.
Caveat sounds a lot like caviar. I bet it has something to do with seafood.
Well, what it sounds like is finding this caveat thing, or whatever it is gonna be one real pain in the neck to find.
Will George and Pudgy discover what a caveat is? Will Mildred learn how to pop? Will Booger wash his hands? All these questions and more will be answered in next week's exciting episode of the George and Pudgy Show.